official competition out in theaters, new comedy starring Penelope Cruz, Antonio Banderas and Oscar Martinez. It's a darkly funny look at artists and their pretentiousness and the way that people like that often have their heads up their asses about their work. We start with a wealthy man celebrating his 80th birthday and realizing he wants to complete some sort of vanity project, to use his money to fund something that won't necessarily bring him profit, but something meaningful that will stay on Earth long after he is gone for other people to enjoy. And he decides to fund a film. He acquires the rights to adapt a book, he hires a director, Penelope Cruz, and she in turn suggests two actors to play the roles of brothers, actors who are polar opposites of one another. Oscar Martinez is the high-class, high-art auteur who does it for the art of it, who doesn't take flashy roles for the money, and he refuses awards because he doesn't believe in them. And then Antonio Banderas is this playboy Hollywood star who has a lot of money, a lot of women, and a lot of swagger. And their personalities immediately begin to clash during rehearsals, which is something that the director intends to use in the film itself. So I have to admit, I watched the film while not in the best shape myself. For some reason I was extremely sleepy that afternoon, and I was seriously considering walking out, not because the film was bad, but because I was so tired, and I essentially had to fight my own body not to fall asleep during the film, again through no fault of the movie itself. So I admit I wasn't as focused as I perhaps should have been, and I may not have appreciated it fully, especially the technical aspects. What I can say for sure is that it's a pretty smart and funny film that has a kind of uneventful and meandering story and relies heavily on performances, but manages to tie things up in a pretty satisfying way in the end. There were several times I laughed out loud, and the rest of the audience was even more entertained than myself. I liked how it pokes fun at the absurdities of actors and artists in a more general sense. The self-seriousness and sometimes ridiculous way they treat themselves and the world around them. It's mostly situational and character-based humor of a certain type. I do wish that the trailer didn't spoil so many of the good moments in the film. If you can avoid it, avoid seeing it and just go into the movie blind. And yeah, that's about it when it comes to what I can say. It's not a great film, but it's certainly a passable, alright, intelligent comedy with more than a few laughs and some good performances.